guys, I'm Brandon Zella, and I'm whipping out the championship belt for this one because this man is a multiple-time NBA champion. This man is a multiple-time All-Star. He is a former league MVP, NBA 50th anniversary team. He's an all-time great. He's an all-time Lakers great, all-time Magic great, all-time everything great. He's a 3-time NBA Finals MVP, 4-time NBA champion. The Diesel, Shaq Daddy, Shaq Fu, the Shactus, the Big Aristotle, Wilt Chamber Breezy.
Oneal.
I think he had a name when he was with the Celtics. I'm not sure. Shaquille Oneal. I think I just scared my mom.
Shaw starts to back in. Will comes over to help, and you can't do that.
Well, the Bulls did not double team for quite a while. Shaq comes down with Shaq. Talk about Duncan. Yes. Yes, a big dunk by the Shaq.
Rim shook for a
So I could have not done this list. I couldn't have done this list without putting Shaq in. He's one of my favorites. I don't say that just because he shares my birthday, March 6th, but just because of the way that he handled himself on court. He was a professional most of the time. Of course, he had those moments of altercations and stuff like that, but who doesn't? He's a multiple-time NBA champion, which is why I put him higher on this list. You need to be a constant winner on this list to be, higher. He was an MVP that dominant season when, he had Kobe, he had Glenn Rice, he had all the pieces, and he went on that run, and that was probably one of the best seasons statistically and just best seasons in general in NBA history because he won an MVP. He won the Finals MVP and he was an NBA champion. And just the way that he dominated opponents left and right over and over again for multiple years is why I put him this high on the list. Also, he's 7'1", close to 300, and later on in his career like 320 pounds. But he played like 19 years in the NBA. He played from 92 to 2011. I mean, there aren't a lot of centers that can say that they played that long. Kareem is one, Akeem is another, and that's pretty much it. Bill Walton didn't play that long, Wilt didn't play that long, Bill Russell didn't play that long. So that's why I put him higher, is that he was able to stretch out his greatness, stretch out his success. Now comes the faults, and there are a bunch. He was dominant, but he wasn't the greatest. That's how Bill Simmons puts it. And I would agree with him. He was the best center of the league at times, but was not the greatest over a period of time. Okay? When he was with Orlando, he was always getting overshadowed by guys like Patrick Ewing, guys like Akeem, David Robinson, guys like that. He had a chance to be a great when Rick Barry offered to, give him free throw advice, to teach him how to shoot free throws. Rick Barry, the guy that shot underhanded free throws, that guy. But Shaq didn't do it. And that's what faults him, He was a 4-time NBA champion, but got swept out of the playoffs multiple times. He got swept in the finals by Akeem Olajuwon and the Houston Rockets. He lost in the finals with the Lakers. There are a bunch of times, famous times, where he lost miserably. And I have to point that stuff out. Because later on in, 10, 15 years, we're going to forget that Shaq lost those times, and people are going to consider him the greatest center of all time, which is not true. Shaq's not the greatest center of all time. You could argue Bill Russell, you could argue Kareem, you could argue Wilt, you could argue all those guys. Shaq was dominant, but not the greatest. If he would have, worked his chemistry issues out with a bunch of guys, his career would have turned out so much better. If he would have worked out with Pat Riley when he was with the Heat, if he would have worked it out with Kobe when he was with the Lakers, you know, if he would have made those connections in Orlando, if he would have worked out, you know, stuff with management and stuff like that, those things that we don't really highlight as much, he could have won 6, 7 NBA titles. But, you know, he had the talent with Penny, Kobe, Dwayne Wade. I mean, hell, he played with LeBron at one point. He was in Boston with Rondo, Pierce, Allen, and Garnett. You know, that starting five, man, that's incredible. But he didn't win a title there. He didn't win a title in Orlando. He only won 1 title in Miami. He only won 3 titles in LA. He could have won 4. Possibly could have won one with Phoenix if they would have worked something out. Hell, maybe one in Cleveland. We could be talking about Shaq, the 9-time, 8-time NBA champion. I know I'm going off here, but that's what Shaq is. He's, you know, this glaring superstar that could have been the greatest of all time. He was dominant, but not the greatest. You know what I'm saying? Ooh, that was a lot. So, signing off here, I'm Brandon Sella. You guys have a good one.